we shouldn't say anything about the company at all. It should just all be them. The relationship we imagined, one little sentence and then a bunch of pages about how we're doing that, should be inverted. Or better yet, we shouldn't say anything about ourselves at all. We should just let it all be said between the lines of what they're saying.
All of us get so wrapped up in the smallest things that give so much energy to, especially our negative energy.
The way our lives are paced is not just not natural, it's anti-natural. You don't wake up just when you wake up. You gotta wake up on a schedule. And from the minute you wake up, you're going and you're dealing with these, deadlines about when people have to be at school, when people have to be at work, and all kinds of stupid friction comes out of that rush. You get impatient with yourself, with others, and about what? Like, about arriving at a building at a certain time. You're like, it's stupid.
I think the world has steadily become more and more open. That, as trite as a word as people think freedom is, I think there is more freedom in the world than there's ever been. I think people, everywhere are still trying to figure out how to live with that, or what having it means, what they want it to mean. And I don't think it all has to mean the same thing, but I think part of that is the ability to make things different. There are my kids with my mom walking around the corner there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That ability to live within more natural rhythms doesn't mean working less, right? Doesn't mean being lazy or having less purpose. I mean, to the contrary, in some ways. I think a lot of people think that unless you're suffering, you're not working, which seems. And we know that, especially to do certain kinds of work, if you're suffering, you're not probably optimizing for the work that you're trying to do.
We have bought into, consciously and unconsciously, the idea that for somebody to win, somebody else has to lose. I think the best situations, especially the best commercial experiences, business experiences, are the ones where it feels, even if you're not sort of consciously aware of it, that everybody wins. I get what I want. The people who are selling to me get what they want. The people who depend on them get what they want. And because we all get what we want, we all value the same thing.
I remember reading an article about Pepsi and Pepsi, the company, and how they're trying to start to make healthier foods and food products and drinks. And so they've literally started talking about one end of the spectrum of the food they produce as good for you, and the other end, 40-ounce containers of Pepsi, as the food that's fun for you. When you feel good about the stuff you're doing and are doing it, it feels like you're getting away with something. Right? I mean, it feels too good to be work, and therefore you should we somehow start apologizing for sometimes the fact that the fact that working hard isn't an effort, actually, but effortless, because we've tapped into that energy that is the place from which we create. And when you're tapped into that, I mean, it's you could go for days and be up all night and not eat, and because the work itself is amplifying and energizing and nourishing, and being cut off from that is what's feels like being starved.
if we're behaving in this way so regularly, and it's so obviously and evidently bad for us, and we do it to console ourselves, no, please kill us, then, you know, isn't what the evidence is telling us is that life sucks. That's the only reason we could possibly need to console ourselves so often and so clearly against our own interest. The trees are amazing, right? I mean, yeah, not that I know much or so much about trees, but I have come to admire and be much more regularly impressed with them. I doubt that people who made this garden made it for anybody else but themselves. But notwithstanding, it's being shared with everyone, and just awesome. I love it when that happens. We'd done the work. We'd done the work. The work was the conversation, and it was better than anything we could have made up. Right? We did it anyway. We had to create the conditions to let it happen, but that's what we did. That's back to that thing again. We created the conditions, and then we let the thing happen.